Ever wondered how a totally blind person uses one of these? Yes, a laptop. This is my workspace for the next goodness only knows how many weeks, if not months. And I thought I would give you a very brief demonstration of how I use a computer as someone who can't see anything at all, and what I use to enable me to be able to connect to the outside world. So I have this USB connected keyboard because I find it a lot easier than using the laptop. It also has a number keypad on there, so when I'm dialing in telephone numbers and any other data that uses numbers, it's a lot faster for me to be able to do that rather than actually trying to navigate the top line with all the numbers on. So for me that works great. And also with JAWS I use the number pad for various different features. So I am going to show you where I am on this screen. Okay, so I'm in Google and I am just going to arrow down. You might not be able to understand my JAWS, but for those of my blind or low vision users would probably be able to understand it depending on how fast they have JAWS. Now I have him talking quite fast because I like to get through a lot of information quite quickly. It depends exactly on how fast you want it and how fast you're comfortable with listening to him. Now I like him sounding like one of the chipmunks. Only joking. So I am trying desperately to hold the camera in my hand as straight as I can. But also I'm going to need to utilize the keyboard from time to time. So it might be a bit wonky, but do bear with me because this is authentic. This is me as is. And my workspace at the moment, I haven't got my professional editor to come and put it on a tripod for me and set up all my lighting and my sound. I just wanted to quickly record this as I've got a little bit of time and I'm in front of my keyboard and my laptop and thought, why not get this up? Because I know loads of you are out there who are really interested in how I type as someone who can't see, how I respond to other videos and comment on other videos. Now you're going to know, because this is how. I don't necessarily use my laptop to respond to messages. I use it through the app on my phone, through Apple's accessibility feature called VoiceOver. I'll go into another whole video of my smartphone and how I use my Apple products. But today I really wanted just to do a brief video on how I use the laptop and how it enables me to do my job from day to day, but also stay connected with friends and family. And I use Skype, which I find really, really useful to keep in contact with colleagues when I'm actually working, and I have Skype, which is my personal Skype on my iPhone. So I do use Skype a lot, as well as other apps to keep in contact with people. And the communication is really important, especially at a time like this. Dare I say the dreaded word? I'm not going to say the C word because we all know what the C word, and that's a bad, bad word. No, not that word. Anyway, moving swiftly on. This is Google, and I am going to briefly put the camera down in front of my computer, and do apologise that it's probably going to be a little bit blurry at the moment. You might be seeing the ceiling, but do bear with me for half a second. And I'll show you how it all works. You might even see me in this. So I'm going to go Control O because I want to type in the BBC, for example, to maybe see what the latest news is. bbc.co.uk. Press enter. Waiting for it to load. And voila! I can actually turn him off and make him be quiet by just simply pressing the control key on my keyboard. And in front of me, like magic, I do have the BBC up. Now, if I want to jump around, I can just press H because it's one of the shortcut keys. Oops. BBC homepage. Obviously, welcome to the BBC. Okay, so you get the idea that the web page is going to be read to me by JAWS because it interacts with the screen. So anything on the screen, if it's accessible, of course, it's going to read it out to me. So if I want to go to links, I can just bring up the links box by simply pressing a hotkey, which enables me to find it a lot easier to jump around the page instead of having to scroll down with the arrow keys. So that's a very quick insight of how I kind of navigate websites. Now, not all websites are accessible, unfortunately. There are many out there that are simply not, and it can be quite frustrating, especially when you're wanting to book maybe a hotel or a flight to go on holiday, or even within the UK. Some of the websites can be a bit tricky and take a long time to figure out, and sometimes you don't necessarily figure them out. You have to get a pair of eyes to do that for you. And their, shopping sites can be quite challenging, especially if I'm looking for clothes items. Some products can be really good at description, like I've mentioned before in my previous video about the top 5 apps that I love, and Amazon is often quite good at describing the products, but not all websites are, and not all websites have things labeled, so therefore my speech just does not interact with it, and it can make life so hard. But it's getting better, and like I say, by using JAWS or by using VoiceOver on my Apple products, I can navigate most of the websites without too many difficulties, which I find fantastic. Technology really has come on so much in the last few years to empower people to live the life they choose, and I think that's a really good thing for me as a totally blind person. But for people generally, forget disability for a minute here. Obviously it's really good for us, but equally it's good for other people to be able to stay connected with friends and family, whether we're looking at buying nice gifts online to be able to send to our loved ones, or sending a card through email. There's so many different options, and it's opened up a world of possibilities for so many people. But especially for me, I can't speak for everyone, I find it an amazing tool to be able to have this independence. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. Remember to give me a thumbs up. Come on, share the love. Don't forget to subscribe before exiting this video, and I'll catch you in my next one. Take care, stay safe, be well, and see you soon.